Gotcha advertisements are typically just a marketing department's best attempt at selling a product. Very rarely are they anything more than just a sneak peek of new features or new characters. They use in-game character models and some snippets of cutscenes, maybe, but something I don't think people talk about enough is, well, Hoyoverse is really on a different level. It's why people can just watch them for hours and get insane views, because they really are pieces of art in their own right. And I say that with a surprisingly slim amount of cynicism. At times, I think they can even tell better stories in a shorter time than even their own games can. I hope that isn't the case for Penacony, but what I can be damn sure of is that Star Rail's recent trailers for Penacony have been nothing short of incredible. So let's go over why they're so damn good, why I'm so excited for Penacony, and why aren't you subscribed yet? You've seen several of my videos and you still haven't done it. The first ad that we got about Penacony was this one, over Inferno and his family, known as, well, the family. Besides the really fantastic, striking imagery, this is also just a unique trailer for Hoyoverse as a whole. We've gotten enemy trailers before, but they were always out of a larger worldwide enemy faction. Here though, unless I'm wrong, and Inferno and his family will be antagonists for multiple worlds, we're actually getting a real enemy faction for just Penacony. So far, in Genshin and Star Rail, there hasn't been an enemy faction located in a region or a world that has a bunch of named characters. Each world or region's antagonists in Star Rail and Genshin have either been larger, multiple arc antagonists, a single individual, or a collection of mostly NPCs. Here though, it looks like we might get an actual anime show-off between named characters. Imagine if each member of the Express battles one of these members. But all of that is just speculation about the world. This trailer showed us though that the world might be approached differently from others, even from its initial advertisement, which is great, because the Wafu was ass. But this trailer was also a sign of things to come, and boy, did it come. Wait, the next trailer we got was a travel promotion cartoon? What the fuck? I'm not lying when I say this is my favorite advertisement I've ever seen from Hoyoverse. It oozes personality and deeper meaning. Firstly, I love Clocky, okay? Best character in any game. I want him on my desk. But two, even this character seems to have deeper meaning. As we'll see, it seems the idea of dreams is going to be essential to the story of Penacony, and a clock that represents time itself and waking sleep is clearly symbolic. Also, he reminds me of Miss Minutes from Loki, and she's amazing. Clocky welcomes everyone, waking or asleep, and goes on this drug-fueled ad read of Penacony with scary-ass worms and eyeballs generating bears and walking hats who... Wait, those hats, are they about to fuck? This ad is clearly inspired by older black and white adverts with their own little intermissions in between portions, which this one, by the way, has a fake language, which is just such a nice touch. Everything in this ad feels incredibly well thought out, from those small details to the dreamlike feel, to the introduction, to seemingly important concepts in Penacony, such as the idea of entering dreams through cocktails, being introduced here. Again, I think this is the best ad we've ever gotten from Hoyoverse. It's an ad within an ad, a cohesive exploration of the style and ideas of the upcoming world, told in an inspired and stylish way that takes its own inspiration from a historical counterpart, but does so in a way that provides enough intrigue. Just fucking thank you for getting the Wafu's taste out of my mouth, because this was amazing. Also in this ad, Clocky tastes this fat ass Ice-Crussy. Damn. Honestly, Hoyoverse could have just been done there, but they weren't. You thought you were high off your ass before? Well, look at this hunky-ass trash can. The next few ads exhibit the same dreamscape experience, except with the characters that we love. More hints at what Penacony is really going to hit on, but also I really want to talk about the style shown here, specifically of Penacony itself. Penacony appears to be inspired by a roaring 20s New York City, with all the pomp and circumstance associated with that. But it's not just a one-to-one inspiration, but instead it's mixed with the more fantastical elements that Star Rail is known for, through this Art Deco infused sci-fi world. The juxtaposition between the future and the past makes Penacony just by itself feel like a dream, to the point that in a lot of these trailers, I had to ask what was a dream and what was reality. It's a really clever mixture that elevates what Star Rail was initially advertised as. a space comedy. I absolutely think Eurilo 6 was a fantastic first starting world, as it illustrates the threat of the Stellaron and has some hard sci-fi elements to it. But it's not outside of the realm of believability, hence it being hard sci-fi rather than fantasy sci-fi. Its locations and plot elements stayed safe, and again, I think that was a smart move with a first world. However, while the Lofu did have more fantastical elements, like the ability to read the future, it dropped them early on and rarely focused on the more space comedy aspects, the clashing nature that was at the heart of the game's initial description. Here though, I think Penacony will set an example for future planets, at least in terms of the combination of sci-fi and fantasy elements, and these elements being able to be plainly read from the scenery of the world itself and through these fantastic ads is just but Hoyoverse didn't stop there and decided to release a whole ass music video? Wait, 2 of them? They once again depict a dreamscape environment with all the 20s style and fusion. The music is fantastic, a jazz and synth mixed track, further illustrating the perfect, discordant mixture that the space moniker implies. The live-action rendition of the music video also shows the Roaring Twenties inspiration, with the women wearing flapper dresses and the men in their bowler hats, but the world gets flipped upside down, and by entering someone's drink, we enter into the dream world, where a cloud is playing the piano? Sick. Wait, hold on. I feel like I've seen that hat somewhere. The in-game music video shows off the scenery again, but also the new faces that we'll see, and potentially new scenarios that we'll experience. At least, I hope. I mean, having a mech fight a different universe version of A and a Dreamscape version of Roaring Twenties New York makes me just sound high off my ass saying it, but boy, does it sound and look cool as hell. We also get a deeper look at this character, who looks like they might get a much deeper focus in the plot, potentially this world's Branya, essentially Penacony's focal character. But we also see the Astral Express crew in this beautifully trippy shot here. So as we see, Hoyoverse has been absolutely on the ball with these 2.0 advertisements, but does this mean 2.0 will live up to it? And what are my hopes for it? Well, of course, advertisements don't necessarily mean that an update will be great story-wise, but they can absolutely point to elements. The fact that these ads are so well thought out and point to intrinsic themes and smart symbolism, like the Roaring Twenties aesthetic being combined with dreamscapes on a prison planet, just absolutely screams that there's more here. It reminds me a bit of the trailer for Fontaine, with its clear thematic through line that ended up actually being an allusion to what would occur in the game, and I absolutely loved Fontaine. So these ads couldn't be this well done if this planet is devoid of any value. Right. In the game, Himeko tells you that Penacony used to be a prison planet owned by the IPC, but due to circumstances, the IPC left and the planet became the prisoners for the taking. The family appears to be the ones leading the planet and really give off this mafia vibe. Again, further linking this whole world back to its New York inspiration. You have to really know if there'll be more nods to that, like maybe a Prohibition-era surrogate with the Dreamscape cocktails, but we've already gotten confirmation of a bartender character. What's interesting is if this criminality element will really be explored more. A planet of IPC criminals who crafted their own society and get lost in dreams is such a fantastic premise, but if it's not really used to say anything about these criminals or the IPC, then I might find the premise really mishandled. I also think this world's premise lends itself to having fantastic characters. Typically, Star Rail and Genshin have strayed away from more in-depth three-dimensional characters, as a lot of their characters lack any flaws to speak of. I'm in the process of making a video that really illustrates what a good character actually is, but what I can say is that flaws are important for characters. In a world full of perceived criminals, better have some characters that aren't squeaky clean perfect without issues. This is the first world or region that we've seen in these two games that seems to have a wide array of interesting and potentially dark characters. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know that characters are what I care about first and foremost. Aside from the characters in the plot, I really just want this world to be fun, which these ads also make me hopeful for. The Lofu was far too drab and eventless, with the fun of the plot sucked out at every given moment for the sake of explaining things to the player. I want this planet to be allowed to breathe for once. But like I've said throughout this video, these ads make me hopeful. The amount of effort that had to have gone into these things has to be astounding, and they're really firing from all cylinders, from the incredible new music, to the inspirations of the world's designs, and seemingly the themes, to the style that absolutely pervades everything in these trailers. Star Rail might actually be back on track, and I'm going to make it my mission to be there day one. Which isn't only because I make videos, but because I'm actually excited to play and experience this new world. But what about you? Are you ready for 2.0 and Penacony? Let me know in the comments, and let me know what you thought about these ads, because they were insane. But regardless, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.